Hello, hello, hello. It is 6 o'clock on the dot, and it's time to get it started with my Facebook Live. And if you notice something different this time, I am not in the picture. Whoa, it's a picture of me, well, actually, my website basically. But I'm starting this way because I'm going to be sharing my screen to show our side hustler highlight. So I'm starting this way so that I can switch back and forth and have it already set up, basically. But I want you to say hello and let me know that you are here. Hey, Carrie is in the house. Glad to have you. So I just want to make sure everyone can hear. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up and all that good stuff so I know that my sound is cool. Give me a thumbs up. I think I see it coming. Yes, okay, great. All right. So, like I said, this time's going to be slightly different because I'm going to be sharing my screen. So this is just my screen with the from my website, just to so you can see that it's me. It's just not me live at the moment, but I will be live shortly as people join on in. And then I'll be sharing a little bit of information about other side hustlers out there doing the darn thing. Okay. But our message today, our title today is basically create the future that you want. Okay. So if not now, when? Because if it's something out there that you feel like you need to do, you want to do, but for whatever reason you're not doing it, you have to, create that path to get where you want to get. Just plain and simple. That's just what it comes down to. So it's already 2019. We're well into the beginning of the new year. And my goodness, 2018 just kind of flew by me. Before I knew it, I just blinked, and it's almost been a year that I've had this coaching business. I cannot believe it. It's a little less than a year that I started this coaching business, and I'm giving myself a pat on the back that I have created a lot and basically knocked down almost every goal that I set at the beginning of last year that I wanted to achieve in my coaching business. And I have implemented those goals. So I'm emphasizing implementing because a lot of times we say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this or I plan to do that, but we don't actually take the next steps to do it. So implement. Don't just plan. Don't just say you're going to do it. You must implement those goals in order to make it become true. And my philosophy, I read it somewhere about, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half ago. Someone said, done is better than perfect. And that is what I live by. That's like my mantra, my philosophy, whatever you want to call it. Done is better than perfect. Because if I had waited for the perfect time to start a business, I would have never started it. 10 years ago, when I became an entrepreneur, I started probably at the worst time ever. It was recession in 2008. My mother had just passed. I was in the middle of divorce. It was absolute worst time ever, ever, ever to start a business. But in hindsight, all those things that were kind of the negatives going on in my life were actually something that was positive for me starting a business. So because of the recession, it was easy to find a location to set up a business. There were so many businesses closing. People were just happy to have someone interested in, trying to have this business. Because my mother had passed, I needed something to focus all my energy on so I wouldn't have to, be grieving, and staying in the house and thinking about that. So the business gave me something to focus on. And then the divorce, because I was suddenly independent, it gave me the kind of push that I needed to continue that independence in my business. So sometimes the negatives, you got to turn those around and use those as a positive. So don't wait. So also, if I had waited, let's say to publish my first book, which I did, gosh, it's been 3 years now. Wow, this is actually my January. Yeah, this is actually the anniversary of me publishing my first book. It's been 3 years. Oh, happy anniversary to me. Happy anniversary. So I, sat on that book for almost a year and a half before I published it because I felt like I needed to find the perfect publisher. And then once, I got to that point, oh, I can find this publisher. Then what if they say, no, we don't want to publish a book, because they can do that. They can turn you down and say, no, we don't want to publish a book. So I was kind of like, ooh, hesitant to even turn it over to some stranger and say, hey, here's my book, read it, critique it, give me some feedback. And I was afraid they're going to tell me to change everything, or it's silly, or nobody's going to buy it. So I sat on it for almost a year and a half before I published it. But like I said, done is better than perfect. So at some point I was like, you know what? I'm just going to figure out how to self-publish myself, and just bypass, all the issues going on with traditional publishing. And that's what I did. I just went for it. I figured out, okay, I need to take a class to figure out how to do this. And that's exactly what I did. I took an online class. I didn't have to even leave my home. I think the class was like, it was cheap. It was less than $100. And it actually, like, real cheap. I want to say it was less than like $30. And it taught me everything I need to know about self-publishing. So if I had never taken the initiative to self-publish, I wouldn't have published three more books this year. So it's kind of like you take the negative, turn it to a positive. And finally, if I had waited for everything to be perfect, the right time, the right place, the right people, I would have never had this business right now. I would have never been a teacherpreneur. So it's one of those things where I decided I was going to invest in me and put in a little money to take some classes online, put in a little money to go to workshops and take some webinars and enroll in some business classes. And I needed to do all that in order to get where I am today, because there's just no way I would be where I am today, especially with this business. I would have been so far behind the times if I had not decided to take the initiative and put myself first. Basically, you're putting yourself first, giving yourself the release that you need to move forward. And like I said, it's been almost a year that I've had my side hustle coaching business. And in that year, I have over 500 side hustlers in my tribe. Now that's a mix of subscriber lists, Facebook, my private Facebook group. I have a meetup group. I have all these different kind of niche groups of people. You add all those up, it's about 500 people, maybe a little bit more actually. So within a year, that's what I've accomplished. I have created 3 online study courses. I have, like I said, published 3 more books. I have presented at entrepreneurial workshops. So all of this in less than a year, I have basically build my tribe, build my brand, because I did not wait. Okay. Because once you figure out where you are, you got to figure out where you want to be. Okay. So I knew, okay, here I am at this point in my life. And I knew in 5 years, I always say you have your retirement date. I knew in 5 years I wanted to be retired. Okay. So I figured out where I am right now, and I figured out where I want to be. And that's exactly what I did. So that's what you all need to do. Okay. Now, is everything perfect? Like I said, done is better than perfect. No way is everything perfect. There's probably all kind of spelling errors in some of those books and things. And, even though I paid somebody to edit and do my book, it's like, things happen. You're going to find 2 thes in a sentence. You might spot, missing punctuation, it happens. I can always, redo it and fix it and upload it again. But for right now, I'm like, whatever, people still buy the books, whether there's some errors in it or not, people still buy the book. But the fact is, I didn't wait till it was perfect and, made sure 5 people read it before I published it and things like that. So think about where you are and where you want to be. Create the future that you want. Okay. So I have a new thing that I'm starting, the Side Hustler Highlight Story. And if you look in the comments in the section on the side, you'll see that the highlight story that I'm focusing on this time is going to be carrieb.com. And she's actually online right now. Okay. And I'm going to show you what her website looks like. Okay. So I'm going to switch.